Bungie announced today that the new Lightfall raid will be having a 48-hour contest mode instead of the usual 24-hour, and this obviously sparked a ton of controversy on Twitter and every other social media platform. In today's video, we'll be going over the content creators' responses and honestly just this entire argument from head to toe, covering all the drama that happened on Twitter. First up, we have the Destiny 2 team tweeting out saying the Lightfall raid will launch on Friday, March 10th. Contest mode on the Lightfall raid will be active for 48 hours. The reason why we are extending this contest mode an additional day to allow teams pursuing the emblem more chances to take breaks, as well as allow anyone who has commitments on Friday to still have time to participate. More details will be available in a future TWAB. Now we have the content creators weighing in on this. We have Salty Greppo retweeting it saying, I think this is a very good thing. As long as the team can beat the raid, I think they deserve the emblem, even if they take 2 days for whatever reason. Hopefully this also means there's a slight increase in difficulty to compensate so that the world's first doesn't take less than 6 hours. So he's offering a pretty fair opinion here. He's saying that hopefully the reason why this is so long is maybe because the raid will be really difficult and there won't be nearly as many teams as we've seen in the past. This is a sentiment that's shared by a lot of hardcore Destiny players. They want the first 24 hours of the contest version of the raid to be decently difficult. You know, they don't want it to be just a breeze that pretty much anyone that even moderately gives it an effort will beat it. It's nice when there's some exclusivity to the 24-hour emblem. At least that's a sentiment shared by a lot of highly competitive PvE people that enjoy the day one races. Let me know down in the comments if you're in that crowd. Next up, we have Glad saying to the folks complaining, don't look at the emblem quite literally as a 24-hour emblem. Look at it as a contest mode emblem. You have 48 hours to beat contest mode. Beat contest mode, earn emblem, easy. It's still going to be hard. Now, a lot of people were criticizing him for his previous opinions that he had on this, where he said that, I mean this with no disrespect at all, when 5 to 6K teams get a day one clear and world's first, something is off in my opinion. So he's basically saying that not so many people should get that many clears of the day one raid, and his opinions kind of contrast from prior. And he actually went on to further say that, you know, basically he wants the game to be really hardcore, but he kind of sees that the trend is not going that way. Bungie seems to make things essentially easier and easier with time, and so that's why his opinions have changed over time as well. Then we have Paul Tassi weighing in here saying, here are my thoughts on the 48-hour contest mode, and he just says nothing at all. He's being smart because obviously this sparks a ton of controversy, and if you give your opinion either way, you're going to get absolutely flamed on Twitter. Next up, we have Destiny Bulletin saying, if we're going to have a 48-hour contest mode on new raids moving forward, it'd be nice to have a day one completion reward as well, in addition to the normal 48-hour contest mode emblem, which I think was an excellent take, and I think this is a cool idea to have a 24-hour and a 48-hour thing. And we move on to the next one, which is of a similar note. Actually, the next one will be Fallout. We have Clyde here saying 48-hour contest mode for day one Lightfall raid. Gatekeepers will be mad, with a little smiley face, a little smirk there. And we have Scaro weighing in saying some of you guys are forgetting taking off a Friday isn't always a viable option for the working class. Orders of magnitude more people have Saturdays off by default. If Bungie is insistent on having launch days on Fridays, this is a fantastic change. Let me know if you agree with that down below. Then Fallout had an interesting idea. He said, A, at Bungie, what if completing the raid within the first 24 hours guarantees the raid exotic to drop? LOL, which is a pretty hot topic right there. Let me know your thoughts about it down in the comments below. Where do you stand on this? One thing I find very interesting with this and with the idea of making it 48 hours for more accessibility is that right now the brackets for the raids are kind of oddly tuned, right? We have one team getting the world's first raid belts, which is extremely prestigious and everything. And then we have roughly 6,000 Guardians that get the 24-hour emblem. And then we have the regular raid emblem that people get, which is, I guess, maybe over 1 million people, I would imagine. Who knows how many Guardians will get the normal Lightfall raid emblem, maybe closer to 500,000. I don't know the exact numbers, but obviously almost everyone will be able to get the normal raid emblem. But the problem with this model is that at the very top, you can see there's such a small pool of people to choose from. They have 6 Guardians to get the world's first raid belt. Now, no one is arguing for accessibility to the world's first raid belt, right? No one's saying that, hey, we should allow the world's first raid belt to be for anyone and you should just be able to buy it at the Bungie store, right? There's no accessibility argument for the world's first raid belt. We know that it is a competition and that because it's a competition, not everyone is allowed the raid belt. And similarly, the 24-hour emblem has a sentiment very comparable to that. But the problem is right now, there's a true tug of war within the community where you have the semi-hardcore people who want the 24-hour emblem to be difficult and have less than 1,000 Guardians get it each and every raid. And then you have the casual crowd, which want the 24-hour emblem to be highly accessible and allow 10,000, 20,000, 100,000 people to get the 24-hour emblem within each and every raid. And really, it's because of that tug of war that we have the community being so cutthroat towards each other, because we don't really have a proper identity for who the 24-hour emblem belongs to, which is why Bungie needs to probably create some more tiers to this. There should probably be, and this is not my opinion entirely, but this is an opinion that I've sort of formulated with this. Let me know if you agree or disagree down below. One thing I've always felt is that there should be the world's first raid belt for the team that beats it first. Then, honestly, for those that get second, like world second, you get nothing, right? Dado has gotten world second like a dozen times, and he's gotten absolutely nothing for that. I feel like there should probably be like a medal, you know, it could be like a little strange coin medal that they send out to the top 10 teams, you know, obviously the world's first team, they get the belt. So then the top 9 teams below them, they get a medal. Let me know if you think that's crazy or not. Maybe they have to buy it at the Bungie store instead of Bungie setting this stuff out. Like, I feel like that would be kind of a cool accomplishment, so that way people have something to aspire towards. Because right now, for someone like myself, for example, I know I'm not getting world's first. I'm not going to beat Salt the Greppo's team in the new Lightfall raid, so I'm not even going to try for that. But could I try to get top 10? I mean, maybe. And that the aspirational idea of that is very enticing to me. And I'm like, wow, that would be kind of cool if I actually won a medal for top 10. I always felt like that's something that should be a part of these raid races. I feel like there's too much of a difference of world's first and then absolutely nothing. Seems pretty odd to me. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Then next up, we have the Fallout idea of giving everyone the raid exotic if they beat it in the first 24 hours, which is a bit controversial, admittedly, but then also potentially just giving them a 24-hour emblem if you can beat it in the first 24 hours, and then conversely give another emblem out if you're able to beat it in the first 48 hours. And you could obviously adjust these values in various different ways. You could even just make it the same emblem for 24-hour and 48-hour and just have a little number there showing the rank at which you completed the raid. So that way, if you completed it world's 34th, you can be like, hey, I completed it pretty fast comparative to world's 3200th, right? And then at the bottom, you just have the regular raid emblem that you get from just completing the raid. And I feel like creating some more tiers to this would actually make this competition a lot more fun and a lot more accessible to a lot more people. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that down in the comments below. And the last bit I want to mention is that it's very important to understand that people are allowed to have a difference of opinion on this. If you completely disagree with me, I respect your opinion. I'm not going to call you a filthy casual if you disagree with me. I mean, honestly, I'm not even presenting entirely my opinion here. I'm just presenting an idea that Bungie should consider so that way there's less conflict within the community. And conversely, if you disagree with those who think that the 48-hour contest period are gatekeepers, or if you think they're elitist, you should really reconsider how you approach this argument, because you're basically just attacking their character instead of the actual issue at hand. And when we as a community continuously do this over and over again, we don't actually make any progress. We just call each other names and we don't actually get to the root core issue of this right here, which is that we want the world's first raid to be competitive. We want it to be fun. We want it to be a unique experience. This literally only happens once a year every year. There will be a reprised raid probably in 6 months. We have no guarantees, but there will probably be a reprised raid, but it won't be nearly as exciting or as interesting as the new fresh raid with Lightfall. So it's a once annual thing. We should make it as big a deal as possible. We should have many different tiers. We should make it as accessible as possible. We should make those that compete get amazing rewards like a world's first raid belt, medals, etc. Let me know your thoughts if you agree or disagree down below. And again, make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all the news in Destiny 2. Smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.